What's up guys, the Snowman here, and today we're talking about tennis grips, the different ways to hold your racket while striking the ball. Before we go over grips though, we have to go over a couple of other things first, one of which is the bevels on your racket. Each tennis racket, the handles are octagonally shaped, so 8 different sides. For right-handed players, we label the bevels clockwise, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For left-handed players, it's basically the same, just flip. The bevel numbers run counterclockwise for lefties, but keep these numbers in mind. This will help us position our hands correctly for each grip. And speaking of our hands, the 2 parts we're focusing on with the grips is the index knuckle and the heel pad. By alternating the positions of your index knuckle and heel pad, placing them on different bevels of the racket handle, that is exactly how you determine which type of grip you are using. Alright, so let's get into our first of 6 main grips, the Continental Grip. Nowadays, the Continental Grip isn't used as much for forehands and backhands. It's more of a specialized grip for serving, hitting volleys, overheads, and slices. In order to use the Continental Grip, your index knuckle and heel pad must be placed on bevel number 2. You can check to see if you have it right by making sure your thumb and index finger make the letter V across the handle. Some advantages of the Continental Grip: standard grip for serves and overheads because it allows you to naturally bend your wrist inward after hitting these shots. That'll result in more power. It's also great for volleying due to the nice open racket face, which provides both underspin and control and can be used as defensive shots as well, such as drop shots. Some disadvantages: very difficult to generate topspin on the ball if you're using the Continental Grip for forehand and backhand shots. Also, overall, there is a lack of consistency with the Continental Grip. Next up is the Eastern Forehand Grip. This is a fantastic grip if you want your shots to be both flat and fast. Shots using this type of grip will naturally be made at waist level, and for the Eastern Forehand Grip, you must place your index knuckle and heel pad on bevel number 3. If you're having trouble with that, you can also just place your hand flat against the strings and slide down to the handle that way. The Eastern Forehand advantages: one of the easiest and simplest grips for learning forehand. It's great for players who like to attack the net. You can change very easily from an Eastern Forehand to a Continental. You're also able to generate a little bit of topspin on your shots. The Eastern Forehand disadvantages: difficult to control high balls. Again, the sweet spot for this grip is about waist level, so it can be challenging if you're playing someone with heavy topspin on their ground strokes, and there isn't enough control for long sustained rallies. Number 3, we go to the Eastern Backhand Grip. This grip provides the user both spin and control for a one-handed backhand. Very common. You'll see players like Federer, Wawrinka, and Thiem using it. To properly perform an Eastern Backhand Grip, you must place your index knuckle and heel pad on bevel number 1 like so. Some advantages: once again, plenty of control with the Eastern Backhand, also the ability to put spin on the ball, and just like the Eastern Forehand, convenient to change from the Eastern Backhand to Continental, so it bodes well for players at the net. It can also be utilized as a kick serve, and the biggest disadvantage for the Eastern Backhand: it's very problematic hitting shots at shoulder height or above. You can see this in full effect when Federer plays Nadal on clay. Fed's one-handed backhand is no match for the high-bouncing, heavy topspin balls from Rafa. Moving on to the Semi-Western Grip. This has become a very popular style for the baseline players because of the ability to produce topspin and power. Unlike the Eastern Grip, which is better suited for waist-level balls, the Semi-Western's ideal point of contact is from the waist to the shoulders. And following along with our bevel chart for the Semi-Western Grip, you must place your index knuckle and heel pad on bevel number 4. The positives of a Semi-Western Grip: plenty of both topspin and power, so not as flat as the Eastern. It allows for more safety and control. It also creates contact points for shots farther in front of you, so you can really step into your shots and take bigger cuts. The negatives, though: going to be more challenging to hit lower balls, also harder to change from Semi-Western to Continental for volleys, so I wouldn't recommend the Semi-Western Grip if you're a player who likes charging the net. Number 5 is the Western Forehand Grip. Not as common as the Eastern or Semi-Western since it's more cumbersome to play with consistently. However, it does offer the ability to apply extreme topspin to your ground strokes. To achieve a proper Western Grip, you must place your index knuckle and heel pad on bevel number 5. The Western advantage is, like I said, a humongous amount of topspin, more than any other type of tennis grip. Because of all that topspin, your shots will bounce high and fast. Like the Semi-Western, contact points are further out in front of you. The Western disadvantage is exceptionally challenging to return low balls, balls at waist level or below. Also harder to use on faster surfaces because it takes more time to execute shots, and it's more difficult to change to and from a Western grip. And finally, I want to talk about the Double-Handed Backhand Grip. Easy to learn, most beginners start learning backhands with two hands. The two-handed backhand relies heavily on shoulder rotation and proper swing to generate power. And for the double-handed backhand grip, your index knuckle and heel pad of the left hand will rest on bevel 7, while for the right hand, index knuckle on bevel 2 and heel pad on 1. So a few more moving pieces because we do have to position two hands instead of one. The double-handed backhand advantages, generally easier to learn than a one-handed backhand, produces stability and control along with topspin. Also a grip adept at handling low shots. You can really get yourself out of some tricky spots. However, it does take more time to set up, and it does limit a player's reach as well, making wide shots a bit more difficult. All right, so those are the 6 main grips in tennis. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you have any questions, but if you found this informational or helpful, please subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media for more tennis content, and I'll be back very soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.